Allo, allo, breastfeeding if I know. 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 We dey call one mama make you breastfeed your child. Allo, allo, breastfeeding if I know. If you breastfeed your pikin, e go get better health. If you breastfeed your pikin, e no go sick anyhow. If you breastfeed your pikin, you no go spend plenty. Allo, allo, breastfeeding if I know. Allo, allo, breastfeeding if I know. Allo, allo, breastfeeding if I know. Allo, allo, we say breastfeeding if I know. Allo, allo, breastfeeding if I know. If you breastfeed your pikin, e no go sick carelessly. If you breastfeed your pikin, e go be intelligent. If you breastfeed your pikin, e go be for good health. Allo, allo, breastfeeding if I know. Make person no lie you say breastfeeding is not fine. Because I want tell you say breastfeeding if I know. Mama, allo, allo, breastfeeding if I know. Allo, allo, breastfeeding if I know. Join me, mama, make we celebrate breastfeeding. All over the world, breastfeeding if I know. Breastfeed your pikin, you go enjoy your pikin. Allo, allo, breastfeeding if I know. We were just on a short time or on a break. That is why we gave that short song. So I am by name Ndeloh Esther, and you are listening to Cameroon Link. We are going to continue with recommendation, and under this recommendation, we are going to talk about table 1 and table 2, but I will start with table 1. And under this table 1, we are going to still continue with HIV/AIDS. That means those mothers, breastfeeding mothers who are living on HIV/AIDS. What are the procedures? What are they supposed to do? We are going to see as we take over the topic. So table 1, it goes thus: the 2016 World Health Organization recommendations on HIV and infant feeding. Recommendations. Firstly, the duration of breastfeeding by mothers living with HIV. For how long should a mother living with HIV breastfeed if she is receiving ART and there is no evidence of clinical, immune or viral failure? Mothers living with HIV should breastfeed for at least 12 months and may continue breastfeeding for up to 24 months or longer. That is similar to the general population. While being fully supported for ART adherence, see the World Health Organization consolidated guidelines on ARW drugs for intervention to optimize adherence. The guideline development group agreed that recommendation 1 should be framed by the following statement: in settings where health services provide and support lifelong ART, including adherence, counseling, and promotes and supports breastfeeding among women living with HIV, the duration of breastfeeding should not be restricted. Mothers known to be HIV infected and whose infants are HIV uninfected or of unknown HIV status should exclusively breastfeed their infants for the first 6 months of life. Introducing appropriate complementary food thereafter and continue breastfeeding. Breastfeeding should then only stop once a nutritionally adequate and safe diet without breast milk can be provided. The recommendation updates components of the 2010 recommendation on which breastfeeding practices and for how long related to the duration of breastfeeding. The components of the 2010 recommendation regarding breastfeeding practices and stop breastfeeding remain unchanged and valid. World Health Organization recommended breastfeeding is defined as initiation of breastfeeding within the first hour of life, exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of life, that is, the infant only receives breast milk without any additional food or drink, not even water, by continue breastfeeding for up to 2 years of age or beyond. With the introduction of appropriate complementary food at 6 months and breastfeeding on demand, that is, as often as the child wants, day and night. Step 2. Interventions to support infant feeding practices by mothers living with HIV. Can facilities and community-based intervention improve the quality of infant feeding practices among mothers living with HIV? National and local health authorities should actively coordinate and implement services in health facilities and activities in workplaces, communities and homes to protect, promote and support breastfeeding among women living with HIV/AIDS. Summary, Executive Summary 3. Table 2. 2016 Guiding Practices Statement. Guiding Practices Statement. 1. When mothers living with HIV do not exclusively breastfeed. If a mother living with HIV does not exclusively breastfeed, is mixed feeding with ART better than no feeding at all? Mothers living with HIV and health care workers can be reassured that ART reduces the risk of postnatal HIV transmission in the context of mixed feeding. Although exclusive breastfeeding is recommended, practicing mixed feeding is not a reason to stop breastfeeding in the presence of ARV drugs. Number 2. When mothers living with HIV do not plan to breastfeed for 12 months, if a mother living with HIV plans to return to work or school, is a shorter duration of planned breastfeeding with ART better than no breastfeeding at all? Mothers living with HIV and healthcare workers can be reassured that shorter duration of breastfeeding of less than 12 months are better than never initiating breastfeeding at all. Plans for updating this guideline. Countries are encouraged to hold key stakeholder discussion to inform the decision making on the use and introduction of the recommendation into national programs. This guideline will be reviewed in 2019 when World Health Organization will constitute a guideline development group to review the literature and update the recommendations as needed. These are the guidelines. Number 4. Updates on HIV and infant mortality. A guiding practice statement make to encourage action and clarify an issue of concern. It addresses an area of suboptimal practice and provide the contingency and guidance to health workers regarding how to respond to a specific challenge. You are listening to Cameroon Link Radio by Ndeloh Esther, assisted by Njanken Achai Fontem. Thanks for listening.